Oh boy, where to begin? I think the critics have already said it about Netflix show Ratched that debuted just the other day. It's just American Horror Story with a different name. I said that myself in my reaction video to the trailer last month, and I gotta be honest, it's very disappointing. Now, I've only watched the first 3 episodes. I haven't seen the whole series yet, so I'm hoping that maybe they'll still surprise me. But what I've seen so far does not give me a good impression. I'm just seeing an incredible lack of creativity here. And really, they just took American Horror Story and slapped the name Ratched on it. Which is more the pity, because like I said in my reaction video, the character Nurse Mildred Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest really has all the making of a great psychological villain. And if this is to be her origin story, there is so much you could do to explore how she became this ice-cold, manipulative monster. And in particular, I think the fact that in both the book and the film, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, it is implied that she was a battlefield nurse. There's a lot that you could do with that. But so far, I'm just getting the impression they are not going to touch on that aspect at all. Now, I am going to give credit where it's due in that this is a fun show. It's actually very well filmed. Their use of color contrast in particular, I think, is great. And it's especially fun how, just like in American Horror Story, they're kind of using that time period which has spawned so much popular myth, so much sense of nostalgia, so much sense of why can't we get back there, and then saying, well, it did have its ugly side too. It wasn't all, wine and roses. I also am enjoying the fact that they seem to be intent on tossing in a lot of little nods and winks to various other horror franchises, or for all I know, it's not nods and winks, it might just be sheer laziness. I gotta ask, how many others recognize the use of the music from Cape Fear, both versions, within the first few minutes of the very first episode? And also in the very first episode, that shot of her car, streaking along that mountain road, totally The Shining. But otherwise, I feel like they've already gone way overboard on sex, which is something that American Horror Story is synonymous with, and that, hey, it has its place in horror, but there is such a thing as getting a little too monotonous with it. And particularly for a character like Ratched, she's not sexy. And in fact, she is totally stoned. Now, you might imply there was something in her past that led to that, and they seem to be exploring that a little bit, but it just feels like they're going totally off the rails and making it all about BDSM or incest or really crazy elements like that when you could do so much better. So far, I gotta say that it's been a letdown. I hate being so negative. On the House That Screams podcast, they have said I'm one of the more stingy in terms of my stars. But thus far, Ratched is not impressing me. I'm hoping I can do an update video for this and say that, okay, it turned around and wowed me, but I think that I and many others are kind of let down. You may disagree. Feel free. Let me know in the comments if you do. Certainly feel free to make your argument. I'm keen to hear it. This is just me offering my thoughts on Ratched so far. Among many things to come in the near future, it's Halloween season after all. I hope you all enjoy this video. Remember to like, watch, and subscribe. You can see me on House of Tortured Souls. You can hear me in the House That Screams podcast. As always, folks, please wear your gloves, wear your masks, like a nurse, and eat, drink, and be scary, and enjoy.